Monday Live with the Creativity Cave. I think I'm crooked. Sorry. My camera has been weird lately. Not my camera, my video stand. But anyway, hi. I am Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. I got to get my Stampin' Lips on, and then we will be all set. There we go. I hope you had a good weekend. We had a little bit of a low-key weekend because my husband was not feeling well. Ooh, hello. But he's been doing pretty good, generally speaking. Okay. I've even got you pulled up already. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's see. What did we do this weekend? Oh, I had a little afternoon with my daughter, which was so sweet. We went shopping, we went thrifting. And I scored big with some things for my upcoming watercolor retreat, which I'm very excited about. Did I mention that I'm excited about my watercolor retreat? I just have to say, yes, I am. So we are going to be using some thrift items in the watercolor retreat, which will be very, very cool. Let's see. So we had lunch together on Saturday and we went shopping to a bunch of places. This was really funny. Her boyfriend needed, fuel line tubing, I think. I don't even know. But we figured out how to do that, which was pretty cool. And you guys, there was no measuring device for measuring out 2 feet of this tubing. So I had in my purse, like any good card maker, a handmade card. And so I used 5.5 inches as our measuring template, standard, whatever you want to call it, so that we could measure our 2 feet. So 5.5 times 2 is 11, and an inch. Add an inch. We were good. It was amazing. So we were feeling pretty good about that. And then she came home and hung out with the puppies for a little bit, who were very happy to see her. They often act like nobody has ever given them any love at all whatsoever, ever. So they had a good time. Also, they just were at the park where my husband said that Milo ran into, I think he said, a fence post at the dog park chasing a squirrel. Maybe it was a tree. I can't remember now. Anyway, he said he hit it pretty hard. And I was like, does he have a concussion? Did he lose some brain cells? And we all decided in the family group chat that there are no brain cells for him to lose. So he seems all right. So yeah, that was kind of my weekend. Not super eventful. I was finalizing all of the details for my upcoming retreat, and I'm just so excited about it. I just can't even tell you. Let's see, what else do I have to tell you? I don't even know. Yeah, I think that's it. So anyway, we had a lovely week last week in our new product launch party. Several lives. We had some fun game night games. We had a live today and another one on, I think the last one is my live on Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got some good projects. I'm even venturing into Christmas, even though I believe this is a little bit too early, given that it is currently, let's see, 86 degrees, but I'm sure it feels warmer than that because it is just really toasty. Anyway, let's see. We've got all kinds of folks on here. Thank you for reaching out and saying where you are. I love seeing that. Also, it looks like it's Joan's birthday today. Happy birthday, Joan. That is awesome. And what else do we have? So, Tess, you are amazing. Thank you so much. That is just so kind of you. I appreciate that. Let's see, what else do we have to share? So we have had a great new product launch party. We still have just a few days left to order make and take packets, which are amazing, if I can just say. I'm really proud of my projects. We've got 9 awesome projects with pre-cut cardstock for each of those, plus you'll get DSP, you'll get ribbon, you'll get a couple of different embellishments, all kinds of amazing stuff. So you can get registered for that. I believe there's a link in the description of this video. If not, I will throw one out. I will also have an email going out tomorrow that will have a link in it as well. And I will also say, take a look if you haven't already watched social media and my email list tomorrow for some interesting news that will be shared. So make sure to stay tuned, I guess, for an announcement on Wednesday. Well, the announcement will be tomorrow. Not Wednesday, tomorrow. Just watch for that. All right. Ooh, do we have another birthday here too? Let me catch up on my chit chat. Oh my gosh, Margot, 82. Holy moly. Girl, I didn't think you were even, well, I guess I don't know, but I didn't think you were going to be 82. You go, girl. That's awesome. We've got, I'm giggling because Deborah says in Brooklyn, Michigan, it's only 82 degrees, that is. I just love hearing that. It's so fun, you know, when you've kind of known somebody on social media for a while and you don't really know anything about them. You guys know more about me than I obviously know about you for the most part. And so it always cracks me up when I learn like more details about people, because like I said, you guys know about me, but I don't know so much about you. I'm really, by the way, looking forward to this weekend because we are going to a meet for Carl. I'm very excited to watch him run. And I'm hoping that by the time Friday rolls around, Friday morning, it will be a bit cooler because it's been really toasty. And yeah, also the World Championships are going on in track and field. And so we've been sort of watching them together, texting back and forth like, oh my gosh, did you see this? Oh my gosh, did you see that? So that's been kind of fun. I enjoy that with him because we got to see so many of the people who are there competing when we were on our trip this summer to Portland. So that's been really fun. And the shocker that came out today was that Cole Hawker he got disqualified, and neither one of us have seen what happened for that to happen. So I'll be curious to watch that tonight because I think the coverage will be on this evening. At least I hope it will. One of us has got to get down to the bottom of what happened. But a guy that he really, really likes won the steeplechase, which is a race Carl wants to do. That's like, it's the one where you run over big barriers. They're hurdles, but they're not like the hurdler hurdles. They're big barriers. And then one goes into water. And that's what Carl wants to do in track. He didn't really get a chance to do it last year because he was so anemic and his coach was kind of like, yeah, no. So we'll see if I think he'll do it this year. Anyway, so his favorite guy won, and he's from New Zealand, and he's on this podcast that Carl listened to, and I've listened to it with him a couple times. So anyway, that was kind of fun. All right. Let me see. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I've got some cards to share with you from my mailbox, which I just love. It's so exciting to get cards in my mailbox. I really appreciate it whenever mail comes through that's not junk or bills, right? And so I appreciate whenever somebody sends me a card. So thank you to those who I will share in just a moment. Also coming up, what else is coming up? I don't know. Oh, I will, I'm going to flip the camera so that we can we can look at my visual aids. You know, I always have visual aids. Okay, so I gotta move my stamps out of the way. I have a bit of a mess because we're gonna use a bunch of stamps. Today's projects include 0 DSP, which is a little bit of a shocker for me, but I think you're gonna love them. So anyway, stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna flip my camera. Okay. Are we there? Oh, ooh, no, that's not good. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Excellent. All right. So first things first, let me get my visual aids. You know I love them. As mentioned, my fall watercolor retreat, there's just a few spots left. And if you are interested and would love to join us for just an incredible event, it will be amazing. Yeah, Janet, I saw he was DQ'd because of Jocelyn, which is kind of interesting because, like, to quote, I think it's Days of Thunder, Rubbin's Racing. They jostle a lot, so that's why I want to see what the jostling really was. Yeah, it's interesting. Sorry, I'm just catching up on my comments. Okay. Yeah, so our watercolor retreat is just going to be phenomenal, you guys. I just finalized the goodies that are going to be included, and holy buckets. They're pretty amazing. And the projects, so excited about the projects. I just can't even tell you. So it's going to be a really amazing weekend. I hope that you can join us. There are 2 different sessions, and there will be information about this in the email I send out tomorrow. So check that out. Let's see. Our Stamp Happy Academy. Oh, we had our Stamp Happy party on Wednesday, and I won't be political or anything, but let's just say Wednesday was just a really crazy day. And we ended it with our Stamp Happy party, which was, I thought, actually one of our very best. Not even so much because of the projects, but because of the banter and the evening. So anyway, if you're a Stamp Happy Academy subscriber, you can see the Stamp Happy Party PDF. It is posted on our website under the Stamp Happy Party tab. If you purchased $35 or more in my online store during the month of August, you got an invite. And if you couldn't join us live, the PDF was emailed to you. If you want to join us, the next one is, I want to say like October. Ooh, no, I can't say for sure. It's in October. It's the second Tuesday or Wednesday of October, but we have a great time. You get invited by, like I said, spending at least $35 in my online store the month previous. So that would be in September for October's. Or you can be part of it by being in Stamp Happy Academy. And it is just such a good time. And basically the premise is that we make 3 cards, each of us, Kelly, Barb, and I, you know, my Stampin' besties. We each take a card and make it our own. And it's almost, so far it's been fun folds. And I love how we each really have a different take on it and get really different results, but I think there's just nothing better than the 3 of us stamping together. So anyway, also ordering from the Creativity Cave benefits are awesome, especially this month. When you place an order with me in my Stampin' Up store, you can earn 10% back in rewards from Stampin' Up when your order is $20 or more, just $20. You can get an invitation to that Stamp Happy party I just talked about when your order is $35 or more. When you spend $50 or more, you'll get everything plus the All-Star Video Class PDF for this month, which is the Painterly Pairs I'll show you in just a moment. And this month, if you spend $75 in my online store, you will also get a mystery grab bag. I think we sent out the first round of them. And I'll just say the more you spend, the more we throw in that grab bag. So we made a couple pretty fat and good grab bags. So take advantage of that opportunity. Again, there's an announcement coming out tomorrow. You'll want to make sure and stay tuned to. I would just say if you're going to order, wait just one day. It's not free shipping. I'll just throw that out. Okay. Also, the Painterly Pairs is our All-Star Video Class Bundle. The link should be in the description of this video. I keep saying that. I'm like, oh gosh, is it? I don't know. I think it is. Anyway, so we have a really wonderful lineup of projects featuring this collection, and I really like my project, I'm just saying. And then last but not least, that Make and Take packet is available for purchase for our new catalog or new product launch party. We're using the Gathering Moments bundle, the Mixed Labels dies, and the Peace on Earth bundle, and we're going to use the Gathering Moments on a card today. So there you have it, all of our awesome announcements. Put this over here, and then I'm just going to have a happy little treatment because they're good. And then I'm going to share with you some cards that have come in my mailbox that I'm just so grateful for. So this first one comes from Dodie. And isn't this pretty? Oh my goodness. So she sent a thank you to me for a little prize that she won. And look at how cute this card is. I just love, it's just so soft and just really beautiful. This is with the, I want to say, Beautiful Gallery DSP or suite. So gorgeous. Oh, then this is funny. You guys are going to laugh. I've had this card since like June. This was with some gifts that some of the people who attended my last watercolor retreat brought me. And the basket they came in, I just repurposed, but found that I still had the cards that they had given me with it sitting there. So anyway, I'd never shown them to you, and I wanted to because they're so pretty. So this was from, I think, a bundle from our last, what's it called? Oh, celebration offering. And I just think this is so pretty. This is another super cute card. This is from another bundle that was from our last catalog, but look at the fun fold. La la la. Okay, sorry. I just had to. So pretty, isn't that? Okay, and then this was from Trish, and she brought me, I'm pretty sure Trish was the one who brought me that mug, and I love the mug. Okay, and then this card came in the mail. And, oh, with money. Yay. Oh, that was sweet. This was Gail. So how fun was that? And you know what's funny is I was just looking today at my Wild Wheat ink because I wanted to use it on a card from today. And so anyway, thanks for the reminder. It's such a good fall color, that Wild Wheat was. Anyway, okay. And then, oh, thank you for not ripping. Whew. This is a beautiful card in a big envelope from Jacqueline, and she just sent the most awesome card. So that's that Painterly Pairs Designer Series paper, which I just think is so pretty. And she just sent me this beautiful card. Isn't this gorgeous? In the lovely envelope. So thank you so much. I really appreciate this card, and you just send the best cards, so thank you so much. I know she said I wish we had larger envelopes, but the good news is you can make envelopes pretty easily, so that's always nice. Okay, so that was my mailbox. Now I've got a couple of things. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, I've been doing my friend's calendar, and I just had to share, this one was from this weekend. Why did the crowd really like Monica's singing? Does anybody remember? Oh, this just makes me giggle. This is for the Friends lovers out there. And the answer is because the lights were see-through and she was not wearing a bra. Or it made her shirt see-through and she was not wearing a bra. Which, let's just say, who can do that? Anyway, here is Mondays. It's just a picture, which is kind of lame. I like the quiz ones. Anyway, I think that I love the questions, though. They just make me giggle. Okay. Or not the question. Yeah, the question. Like the cute, well, whatever. Sometimes I wonder about myself as I'm just sitting here, blah, 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 talking. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I shouldn't say I don't know what I'm doing, but sometimes I really do wonder about myself. It's like shocking how much brain power is lost when videos are rolling. Okay. All right. First off, our first card is going to be a little bit of ink blending. I just can't get enough of this prairie grass stamp set. And I was walking this morning and by the prairie, literally, and it just made me want to use the stamp set. And I love here the colors are just starting to happen, just starting to change a little bit here and there, and I just love this time of year. And so it just made me want to come back and use the stamp set. So anyway, I'm going to start with a piece of white cardstock. So I thought we'd do a little ink blending on this. And let's see, what colors should we use? I want something kind of, well, let's see here. I want something kind of earthy-ish. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to go blue or pink. Let me know. What do you think? Ooh, maybe, ooh. How about these for our colors? For some ink blending. Okay, so I want to grab some blending brushes. Well, could that work? Sharon says blue. I can do blue, Sharon. I got you. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is start out with a nice light pool party. So I always like to do the first bit of ink off the top on my scrap of paper. And we're going to have kind of a blue sky up top, bluish. Actually, this is pool party isn't exactly blue, but you get what I mean. And also my ink pad seems to be recently re-inked, so I'm glad I'm getting that blob of ink off first. Otherwise, we'd have kind of an ugly splotch on here, which I would not love too much. Ooh, maybe, I might change my mind a little bit. I reserve my right. Okay, Old Olive is next. And, you know, this is kind of that time, too, where things are starting to change, but they haven't really totally changed. Okay, so I will say that this is one of my favorite combos to start with, Old Olive with Pool Party. And then I want a darker color down here. So I think I might throw an intermediate color because I want to do pretty peacock in here at some point. But I think I might need to add a little bit of garden green to kind of work my way into it. And I think this will work. Maybe. Okay, so we've got all of that. That looks pretty good. And then I want to end it with more of a blue. I'm giggling because I'm reading your comments. You guys are cracking me up. Ooh, that's heavy. This is Pretty Peacock. I'm glad we put a little intermediary color in there because, whoa, that would have been a lot. Okay, so Pretty Peacock at the bottom here. And look at how pretty that color scheme is. Now, if you wanted to make this more of a fall, I mean, I think this is kind of the right colors for right now, today. But if you wanted this a little more fallish, you could do, from Old Olive, you could actually do some crushed curry and then into even Cajun craze. And that would be very fall-like colors. But we're not quite there yet. We're getting there, but we're not quite there yet. So that is just like an alternative color palette for you. Now, at this point, the real question is, do we leave it like this or do we die cut this into something? And I feel like we could die cut this with one of our dies. Ooh, that would be really pretty, wouldn't it? Oh, I love that. Or let me see, this is the second to largest. Maybe we'll do that one. It's just a scotch bigger. What do you guys think of that? I do like that. And then I've got my stamp. So I want to stamp this big honkin' thing. It is my favorite, the stamp set. I do love this. So let's stamp it and then we can decide if we're going to die cut it or not. I feel like we could. I mean, I pulled out my dies for this. But we'll just have to see. Okay, so I've got this stamped. Oh, look at that. So pretty. Now, here's the question. Here's like the $10 million question. Do I dare stamp it twice to get like a second kind of ghosty impression? What do you guys think? Do I dare stamp it one more time? Well, let me know in the comments. You know, with like the ink that's left over. By the way, I used black Memento in case you did not catch that. Ooh, Sherry said I could use... Debbie says, do it. Sherry says, could you use a smaller arch and use both pieces? Ooh, Pamela says, leave it alone. Okay, they're saying, Joan says, maybe. I'm going to do it one more time. One more time. Here we go. Oh, I think that was okay. It worked. All right. Now, the real question is, how much do we cut? And I think that will do it. I'm going to go with that. Okay, so let me run this through my machine quick. Oh my gosh, I always lose my top plate. Does this happen to anybody else where that you can't, like, you've got to, it's because I would just embossed something, so I had the gray plate, and now I can't find the top plate. Every time. Oh, I like that. Doesn't that look nice? Now the real question is, we've got one more, and I'm pretty sure this will fit on a card. Yes, it will. Should we die cut this second piece. I always seem to do this. So I'm feeling like, do I want my card base to be this, and then I could die cut this out of this color, Pretty Peacock, for the layer, or should I have the card be on Pretty Peacock and then green on the layer? Ooh, I think that's what I want. I'm going to do that. Okay, hold on. Okay. Ooh. Sherry says she's always losing her clear plates next. I totally do that. Oh my gosh. Because I know I still haven't found the one I'm missing, by the way. I had another one handy. But someone said they keep them right next to, so do I. I do too, keep them right there, but it disappears. It always does. And I never can figure out where it goes. Like, I'd say it's the door to Narnia, but I do eventually find it. I don't know. It's kind of wild to me how that happens. Okay. So I've got that second arch because I just think that looks nice. And this is a really good looking card, if I can just say myself. Say so myself, I meant to say. All right, so we've got this beautiful card, and I feel like we've got a lovely little sentiment to go with this. Okay, which I'm just going to stamp right here in black. Memento. You're not alone. I'm here for you. Oh, I just love that. So I want to pop this layer up onto this layer. These arches are just so nice. I really love that we have them and that they are, that they're pretty tightly, you know, together, if that makes sense. The different sizes are pretty tight together is what I'm trying to say. Not very articulately because nothing is coming out quite the way I want it today. And then for ribbon, I want to use, well, I think this is probably good with just a little baker's twine, or not baker's twine, linen thread. This feels like a linen thread kind of situation, if you know what I mean. But you could also use our new old olive baker's twine, although maybe because we're using the garden green, that might not totally work, but all right. So I'm just going to tie a bow over here and we'll attach it. And I kind of love the little curly cues on this. And what happened there? That was kind of wild. But there we have it. Now, I think this is a great masculine card if you needed a masculine card, but it's really truly for anybody. So you could really change the sentiment out to be whatever you needed it to be. And then we're just going to add it to our card base like this, and just very nice and simple. Where did my adhesive go? I don't think I had pulled it out any yet. All right, so I'm just going to attach that like so. So this is sort of like a fall not fall card, but it could totally be a fall card with just a few different colors. I also was thinking like another color combo that would be really nice would be, we could start with like, oh, Petunia Pop or berry, like a light berry burst at the top, and then kind of work down to like a deeper purple or night of navy down here, you know, so like purples into blues would be a nice color combination, or purples into rust, you know, like Cajun Craze, Timid Tiger. So a lot of different color options depending on what you're going for, but I think this is really lovely, if I can just say. And I don't have any embellishments on here, but let's see what we've got. Maybe some of these low profile sparkle dots, because I always like the low profile stuff. It fits really nicely. And I think these technically are supposed to be Secret Sea, but I would argue that they could go with this and nobody would know the difference. So we are totally going to use those. And where's my take your pick tool? Here we go. The green obviously works as well. There we go. Oh, so nice. Okay, now the inside, of course. We've got to do the inside of our card. So I've got a panel of basic white. I'm going to just do a little bit of the pool party that's sort of left on my brush here. I'm not really bringing any new pool party in here. And I'm just kind of doing a little bit. I'm not going to do like the full colors that we did on the front of our card, but just a little to kind of mimic the colors we had on the front. I'm sort of doing them at a little bit of an angle here in the corner here. Okay, so that kind of mimics what was on the front. I think that looks nice. And then, and by the way, that was just with the ink that was left over on our stamp. And then I feel like there's an innie sentiment in this set. So let's see here. You're not alone, I'm here for you. Ooh, maybe sometimes life is just hard. I kind of like that. I mean, I don't like that, but I like that. If you know what I mean. And then we could put, ooh, I just dropped a stamp. We've got to grab that. I don't want to lose it. Okay, so grab a black. Oh, and I found my plate. It was in my black drawer because that's where it so does not belong. Okay. Now I also have one of the smaller kind of weeds, for lack of a better term. And I think I'm going to stamp that on the inside of this because that'll just kind of carry the whole thing through. And I like that. And then I'm going to add my sentiment. Put it right here at the bottom. And there we go. Let's see. And then I'm going to close up all these ink pads because I'm sure somebody out there is like, Dina! Will I die cut the inside? I didn't. I guess I could. I most certainly could. That's a good question, but there we go. And one more touch because, I mean, we just should. And that is some Wing Stella. But let me close up these ink pads first because I don't need to Stella my ink pads because they get enough Stella around these parts just being around, right? I do Wing Stella quite a bit. Okay. There. Just a little shimmer adds a nice touch. Now, if you were giving this to a guy, I probably wouldn't put the Stella on, but otherwise, I'm pro Stella. Okay, so those little sparkle dots I think are nice because they're pretty low profile, so they don't make too much fuss. But ooh, me likey that one. All right, our next card. Let's see. Oh, this is a stamp set that everybody. I don't care. This is the stamp set that I've been getting. A lot of people are like, well, I wasn't going to get that till you told me about it. I really like this stamp set. I'm just going to say it loud and proud. Builder Blossoms was made for me. Okay, so let me show you what just makes me happy about this. It's just so easy to use is for sure the biggest thing. So I have this little label die cut, and I don't know if this is going to work. I might have to die cut after I stamp. We'll just see how this comes out. This is from the Label Me Grateful bundle. So, and the reason I say we'll see how it comes out, there's this little lippy thing that shows up on the label. Can you see how there's like that little edge? I love it from a design standpoint, but from a stamping standpoint, you might have to die cut it after you stamp because the stamp might not show through. We'll see, is really what I'm getting down to. Okay, and we're going to use yellow, so I'm going to switch my paper. Okay, so I love this, and I did make some cards with this recently in a live, and I wanted to do some more. So we're going to do some crushed curry ink, and I love crushed curry for a great fallish yellow, and it is sunflower season. And so I wanted to do the center in pecan pie. So I'm going to take this bigger center and kind of put it right here off to the side. And actually, I might like the look of that. See how it's a little white right there? We'll see. It might be okay. All right, so there's my pecan pie. And then what I'm going to do is take and stamp up these in crushed curry for my sunflower. Okay. And we'll let them overlap just a bit. Now these could be like echinacea or what's another word for that? Black-eyed Susans, is that right? Is that the word you use for those? Okay, so there is my big yellow blossom, love. And one note, actually, and maybe I'm going to do it twice because I did die cut a second label just, you know, in case I needed it. These are have a lot of detail in them, the stamps. They're kind of distinctive-y. I don't know if we use that word anymore or not in our stamps, but they're distinctive-ish stamps, meaning they have all that detail. And those stamps work best in a, quote, dry ink pad. And what I mean by that is not juicy. So what I'm going to do is, and you've probably seen me do this a million times before, I take my spoon, I rub my ink in to the pad so it's not as juicy. I'm going to clean my stamp. And then I'm going to restamp this, and I will do my center. By the way, we're not done with the center of this either, just in case. Coneflower. Thank you, Patricia. Okay. So let's see, is this coming out better? Yes. See how the difference, I mean, I'm on typing paper. I don't know if it's quite as visible, but I really worked this in. I think this is a somewhat recently inked ink pad. So yeah, I think the lighter the ink, the better the card. And the ink is already kind of coming back. That's okay. Okay, so whichever one, I don't know, they're probably pretty similar, but I feel like this one has a little bit better detail. Now, we've got the center that's brown, but if you've ever looked at like a, if you've ever looked at a sunflower, there's kind of like two rings of color in the center, darker and lighter. And this isn't going to be exactly that, but it's going to come close. So I'm going to do this other thing in my darker color, which is Early Espresso, which I think makes it look more sunflower-esque, if you will. So there we go. Now, other colors you could do this in would be, again, similar center colors, but then you could do pumpkin pie or timid tiger. Actually, well, I don't know. I might, well, doesn't matter. Berry burst, that would be like the coneflower echinacea. Real red or cherry cobbler or Cajun craze. Any of those colors would be great. You could even go so far as to blackberry bliss. I think they would all be just beautiful with this. Or even, this is probably not necessarily happening in nature, but it would look really cool, and that would be pretty peacock. I don't know that there's a pretty peacock color, but I think a lot of different options exist for this. And I don't think this is bad, so I'm going to quick stamp that Early Espresso in the center there, because we can still use this one. All right, now to put my card together, I have, and I might change this because this is a lot of yellow. I embossed a panel with the Gathering, I think this is called Gathering Leaves embossing folder. This is in the online exclusives. And then I'm going to add this to it, and I was going to put it on this card, but I feel like that's a lot of yellow, like a lot. And so oftentimes when I am faced with that, I like to come back to a neutral color. So let me give you a couple of options. You could do crumb cake, or we could do pecan pie, which I don't really like. We could do Early Espresso, which is okay. Or one more, if I can get to it. Ooh, I might have to cut more. The other one is, I don't have a half sheet cut. Basic beige. So which of these do you like best? Crumb cake, pecan pie, Early Espresso, or basic beige? Maria likes the crumb cake. Cheryl likes the crumb cake. I'm going to cut the basic beige just so it's ready in case somebody wants it. And if they don't, I'll have it for later. Okay, most are voting for crumb cake. I kind of agree. Crumb cake is sort of my go-to, especially for fall cards. I like it. Now, what we could do is we could throw a little Early Espresso behind this, and that might be kind of fun. I think I'm going to do that. So let me quick trim that real quick. And I'm going to cut, this was 4 by 5 1/4, so. Okay. All right, so we've got our card base, we've got our layers, so pretty, and our die, which I just love, 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 love. And then I thought we could take a little of this gold ribbon. Now this is from the annual catalog. It's just the, I think it's called gold striped mesh ribbon. That's kind of a mouthful, isn't it? And we'll just add a little bit of this to our card, I think in a zigzag. And that is good. Let's see, where are my scissors? Imagine that underneath something. Okay. Now, I just think this stamp set is so easy to use. That's one of the reasons I love it. I mean, you saw our card is coming together so quickly. It's just so easy to use and so pretty. And I've got a couple of other things we can do to really kind of punch this up a notch or so. All right, so we're going to put our ribbon zigzag back here. Let me just get a little more adhesive so that the ribbon has got something to stick to. And then we'll, of course, pop this up. I mean, I think you all knew that was coming, right? I made a card recently that did not have something popped up, which goes against all that I believe to be true in card making, but I did it. I think that was at our Stamp Happy party. There we go. And just put a little more adhesive. Stick that and ribbon down. Okay. Now, I just also should have for sure stamped my sentiment on here, but live and learn. Wouldn't say that would be the first time I missed that. Okay, now I wanted to pull my sentiment from, I know we've got the label. Well, we could do You're the Best. I wanted like a birthday card because I've got, well, as we know, there's fall birthdays happening. So I thought I would do this Happy Birthday from the Loveliest Tree stamp set. And, but I don't know, maybe it's too small for this. It could be. I feel like the words need to be a little more bold. So let me see, where else can I pull a Happy Birthday from? I just rearranged all my stamps, so now I don't know where everything is anymore. Ooh. Oh, that birthday's too big. I need a medium-sized birthday. Where is that? Oh, here we go. This is perfect. Long time no see. Yeah, I like this. Okay. So that is kind of funny, but I think it's going to work perfect. And we'll do that in early espresso. And let the stamping gods be with us, because this is not an even surface like I would prefer it be. Oh, thank you. So perfect. Okay. Now we're going to bling this up here in just a moment, but first let's adhere this. And then I'm going to grab the inside, because I mean, we have to have the matching inside, right? Okay, so for that, I've got my 4x5 1/4 basic white, and again, we'll start with our pecan pie, and I'm going to do kind of like a halvesy right here in the corner. And then, oh, did I already put this away? I couldn't have. Nope, it's open. Don't worry, it's still open. I'm going to work that ink back in because this one really needs it. And then we're going to just go around one more time. And I think there's nothing better than having this on the inside. It just looks so happy and cheerful. And of course, we'll make it complete with that nice dark early espresso in the very center. And how perfect is that? I love it. Okay. And then I'm going with, sorry, I'm a little behind in here because that is also correct. Because I'm always behind on sending cards. If your card comes on time, chances are I was not in charge of mailing it. My amazing assistants are really good for me. And I'm just going to stamp that right there. Isn't that fun? Okay, now we'll put this on the inside of our card here, and then we're going to bling up the outside. Oh, I just love that. Oh, and I feel like this could be a card. I mean, it's just so pretty. Okay. And I love that these are big, like the blooms are big. Okay, we could use the poorly named streaked dots. Oh. Yeah, Fran, that arrived on time because I was not in charge of mailing it. My assistants took care of that for me. Thank goodness. They're so good. All right, so some streaked dots in the center. Oh, that looks good. I'm not even gonna lie, I love it. Actually, I think I might just stick with that. I think we're good there. And of course, we're gonna close up some ink, but I feel strongly that spritzing is in order here. I mean, spritzing is almost always in order, but let us take a moment to do that as well. And sometimes I like spritzing some brown on here too. I think that might be a good idea. So I'm actually gonna, let's see how this works. I'm gonna do my SU100. They renamed these into combos, and I wanna say this is like the something medium dark. I don't know. It's got a weird name now. And I'm just kind of smacking this on here. You can also flick it like that. And that gave me maybe a little more spritz than I wanted, but I'm standing here for it. I think it's okay. And we'll just do a little flick in here. Ooh, that was perfect. Oh, look at that. So good. Oh. Let's see. Sherry says, can you enable us and do another with a different color petal? With a different petal and color. Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, I'm feeling, you know, I have not, let's go back. Where's my stamp set here? I have not used this little petal yet. I did do the in-between petal recently. Well, I did this one. I haven't done this, but I feel like that's just, well, let's just see here. Okay, yes, is the answer. I might not make it into a full card, but we will stamp it. Maybe I'll finish it into a card later. All right, here's just a little piece of paper I just happen to have sitting here. Let me clean this. And they should put a few more samples. You know, honestly, I really think that the samples for this particular set were horrible. Not gonna lie. Like, why would anybody buy the set based on the samples? Because I don't know, I didn't appreciate them. Sorry. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go with Secret C in the center. I do like a good, nice dark center, not gonna lie. And I'll put this right in the center of my panel here. And then with this smaller petal, I'm thinking, no, I want something lighter than this. I think it looks really awesome. We're gonna pull out pretty Pool Party. It looks really awesome when there's like a pretty big difference in color between the two. Okay, so I've got pool party, pool party, pool party. Or I'm going opposite of one another. Opposite of one another. Like so. Okay. And then I'm going to go in between. And where I think it really is pretty is the in-betweens. Now I will also say this color, or this pad, probably needs, that's green. Let's see, hold on. I gotta clean this off. I've used all 3 of my spoons. I gotta clean it off so I can work the ink in here. This one was pretty juicy, if you recall, so when we did our ink blending. So I'm going to see if this makes a difference. Oh yeah, that made a big difference. But then look at how pretty that is. That reminds me of an anemone. And let's just take this up a notch too. I like to paint these this way, but let me see. Where's my secret C marker? Oh, it's not in there. Is it out? Is this secret C? No, that's Misty Moonlight. Where is my secret C marker? Night of Navy. Well, come on, secret C. Is this it? Oh, it is. I thought this was black. That's funny. Okay, so then to make it more anemone-like, I'm just gonna tap some little dots around with my marker. You could do this with your Stampin' Blends too. And look at how fun that is. So there we go. Yes, demos send cards to Stampin' Up all the time. Does Stampin' Up ever publish them? Yes, sort of. Sorry, I just wanted to fill this out and add a few more dots. Well, obviously the catalogs are different because they're published before we have the products. So do they share them on social media? Not in an official capacity, no. But there you go. So yeah, isn't that fun? We could do one more super duper quick because we're actually doing pretty good on time, and I've got one more card and it's pretty quick. Let's see. I think I can use this piece. Yeah, it's, you know, and the sample thing is really tough too, because I know from the behind the scenes, first off, the catalogs are done like 2 years in advance. They're way out in terms of publication time. And then they also have to match, you know, the layout, the samples on the opposing page. So it's not as simple necessarily, and it just kind of varies. Okay, so let's do another one. So my center is going to be real red. And then my petals are going to be petal pink. And I don't know if this is going to be good or not, but we'll try. Could be. Okay, but I also feel like this is going to need some working the ink into the pad. Some spooning. That sounds maybe bad. I don't know. I can't decide if that sounds bad or not. My ink pad needs some spooning. Don't tell my husband. Okay, so maybe the blood red center was the wrong color. I don't know. But what I love about this is just the overlapping. So I was kind of going for daisy here, but I don't know. And now this does have like the 3 that we used on our card. There's the 3 petals at once, and these are basically the same. So I guess you could use this also as like a he loves me not kind of a situation, because you could then just have one of these petals hanging off the card, such as, that was weird, this, like, that kind of a thing. I mean, and that's just me doing this really quickly, so I don't know. So there you go. There's a couple more examples. So Secret Sea and Pool Party, petal pink and blood red centers of flowers, which clearly occur in nature for real. But yeah, they're kind of fun. Somewhere I've done this card a couple times already, and I know I've done it in a live, so you guys, I'm sure, have seen it. But yeah, love that. Okay, our final card is a truly fall card. Well, I guess these all are fall cards, but I really like this one. Oh no, that's the inside panel. This is the outside panel. Okay, so we are going to take, this is approximately a 1-inch strip, which I'm going to use for my sentiment. And so I'm going to take a pencil and mark on here really lightly the edges of this, not the whole way, but just partly, so I can stamp according to this. And I'm using the Gathering Moments stamp set, and kind of like my other cards, everything you see is usually fall colors, fall, Crushed Curry, Cajun Craze, Timid Tiger, maybe some Berry Burst, maybe some Pecan Pie, basic beige, what have you. I'm gonna do greens. So I'm going to do Old Olive, Garden Green. Oh, wait, where's my sample? I got to remember. Mossy Meadow. Is Garden Green one of my colors? Oh, shoot. Where's my sample? Oh, there it is. Okay. So Old Olive, Garden Green, and Mossy Meadow. Those are my greens. And then a little bit of early espresso, because, well, let's just be honest, that's all we've been using today. Okay, let me get all these. Got to get all my mess out of the way. And I have made a pretty decent sized mess here today, so you're welcome. All right. So what I want to do with this is I've got my guidelines, and I want the leaves coming out from behind my, where my sentiment is ultimately going to be stamped. And now you could, instead of, just stamping, you could stamp and die cut all of these, but I like this because it's a lot faster. Okay, so I'm going to start with Old Olive. That's kind of my lightest color. And I'm going to give this a little work in the ink, because once again, our stamp set is going to be nice and kind of detailed. So I'm going to take and ink this up, and I'm going to stamp one on the top, like so, and then one below, kind of opposing, basically. Oh, looks so good. All right, then I'm going to take, so that was Old Olive, and I'm going to take Mossy Meadow and do the smaller leaf that's kind of like this. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp that leaf right there. And stamp that leaf right there, and maybe even just a little over there. It'll just peek out. Okay, so that looks good. Then I'm going to do my garden green, and I've got this kind of branchy leafy guy. And let's just double check that. And I think this needs just a quick working in of the ink. Again, we just want to show off all the detail that is built into this stamp set. And if your ink pads are juicy, you just want to work that ink back in so that you get that gorgeous detail. Okay, and now I'm going to have that coming out there. And another one over here. And maybe one right there. And if you need to, bring your paper back. Like, what is that going to look like? Do I need to fill anything else out? And I'm going to say, yeah. I'll put one right there. Okay, so just a little peek. And then finally, I've got this little branchy ball thing. That is the official terminology. Dolly said, could I use masking tape and mask it off? Yes, but I like the dimension that I'll get with being able to pop my sentiment up. So sure, I could, but I think that this will give me a better opportunity to add some dimension to my card. There we go. Okay. And you're going to see another thing I'm going to add to this as well. That would not work if we had that extra, just the tape. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to do that in early espresso. And, oh, what was my sentiment going to be? Many thanks. This is a part of that Gathering Moments stamp set. Okay. And, oh, doesn't that look good? Okay, just wait. Just wait. There's more. And I probably should not have put all those ink pads away, but hold on. Okay. So I'm also going to take, I've got a little strip here. I'm going to trim it down. Gosh, how did I get all that ink on me? I'm just trimming that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So I'm going to put just a teeny bit hanging out here. Okay. I don't know about you if you have noticed this, but I've been working on reviving the torn edge in card making. I feel like it's gone away and not to the betterment of card making. Look at that. Oh, yes. So beautiful. Okay. So we're going to pop this bad boy up, but I want to trim it real quick first. And now, don't you think the dimension on here is kind of key to the beauty? If you were looking for just a really simple, no layer card for sure, you could do the masking. Okay. And there we go. Oh, it's just so pretty. Look at that. Okay, so I've got a layer of Old Olive to go behind. And then I wanted to take and add a little touch with our linen thread. Now you could use Old Olive or the Early Espresso. I'm going to use Old Olive just to add another kind of dimension here. And, ooh, I can fit this through. So I'm doing like a double length here. So I'm going to feed this through. Come on. You wouldn't think it would be that hard, but you would be wrong. If you do it before you add the dimensionals, it does go a little better. Not gonna lie. Okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna tie this in a little bow. And again, Early Espresso would work really nicely for this as well. I just wanted to hit the greens. On here. And there we go. Just kind of scooch that over so it's not taking out our beautiful words. Oh, I just think that's so pretty. And still a really simple, classy looking card, in my humble opinion. Oh, love, 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 love. And I've got just a nice, good old crumb cake card base because I want the whole story to be this beautiful greenery, not the card itself. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Now, I think we could put some dots on here, and I'm feeling gold. We could do copper too, but I kind of like the idea of gold. Just gonna put a few kind of on like that. So pretty. And then, I mean, we spritzed the others, so we may as well spritz this one too. Right? Oh, so gorgeous. How pretty is that? Okay, now we also need to do the inside, and that is why I should not have put all my ink pads away, but whatever. All right, so we've got Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. Garden Green. And maybe another Garden Green, just to sort of fill that out. And last but not least, some Early Espresso. Got those dots in a couple spots on there. All right, so that, oops, we're gonna need Early Espresso for the innie sentiment, and I don't know if I have that mounted. So let me quick look at my stamp set. Did I pull it out? No. So your friendship means the world to me is gonna go on the inside in Early Espresso. Just double checking. Oh, so gorgeous. And we'll put that on the inside. And what an amazing card, if I could just say so myself. All right. So let's bring out everything we made today, because I feel like they were pretty good. if I can toot my own horn. All right, so our first card was with our prairie grass. Our second card was with our builder blossoms. And then our third card was with, and let's just get all this stuff out of the way. Our third card, of course, was with the gathering moments. So some really lovely projects, if I can just say so myself. All right, friends, if you could do me a solid and give me the thumbs up, I can't tell you how much that helps. If you aren't already subscribed to my channel, if you could subscribe again, that really helps. Subscribing helps grow my channel, and that just would be so amazing. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you would like to purchase any of the supplies that I used today, I will have them all linked on my website tomorrow, but I will say wait for the announcement coming tomorrow. That's all I will say about that. All right, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. I hope you loved these projects. I will be right back here next Monday for more awesomeness, and I will see you all soon. Thank you again, and have a great week. Bye, friends.